in the heart of the Cascade Mountains, a group of friends decided to embark on a winter camping adventure. The snow-laden landscape was breathtaking, yet an underlying sense of unease pervaded the crisp, cold air. Kevin, the most adventurous of the group, had heard tales of a mysterious creature dwelling in these parts. A snowman, not the kind made by children, but a living, breathing entity shrouded in folklore. He joked about it around the campfire, but his laughter was met with nervous glances from his friends, Sarah, David, and Emily. As night deepened, the howling wind seemed to carry whispers, strange and unsettling. Kevin, fueled by curiosity, proposed a midnight hike. Despite their reservations, the others agreed, not wanting to appear frightened. They ventured into the moonlit forest, their path illuminated by the soft glow of their lanterns. The snow crunched under their feet, the only sound in the otherwise silent night. That was until they heard it, a deep guttural growl, resonating through the trees. Panic set in. They turned back, but their tracks were obscured by fresh snowfall. The growl grew closer, and fleeting shadows danced between the trees. In a moment of terror, they saw it, a towering figure with piercing eyes and a presence that felt ancient and otherworldly. Kevin, Sarah, David, and Emily ran, but the snow hindered their escape. The creature was fast, its movements almost a blur. They found themselves at a cliff edge, the drop steep and unforgiving. With nowhere to run, they faced the creature. It stood before them, its breath visible in the cold air. But then, something unexpected happened. The creature halted, tilting its head as if confused. It didn't attack. Instead, it simply watched them, its eyes reflecting a depth of intelligence and sadness. In a moment of mutual understanding, the creature turned and disappeared into the forest. The friends, too stunned to speak, made their way back to camp. The next morning, with the first light of dawn, they found large footprints around their campsite, leading back to the forest. No one spoke of the incident, but each knew they had encountered something beyond their understanding. As they left the mountains, the story of the snowman lingered in their minds. Was it a guardian of the forest, or simply a misunderstood being, as lonely as the winter itself? They never returned to find out, but the mystery of that night stayed with them forever. Back in their hometown, the experience at the Cascade Mountains lingered with each of them. Kevin, once the skeptic, found himself delving into local archives, searching for any information about the creature they had seen. Sarah, the pragmatic one, tried to rationalize the encounter, suggesting it could have been a bear or some other animal. David, the quiet one, seemed distant, lost in thought, while Emily, the artist, began to sketch the creature from memory, her drawings both haunting and beautiful. Weeks passed, and their lives resumed a semblance of normality, but the mystery of that night refused to fade. Then, one evening, Kevin called the group together. He had discovered an old journal in the town library, written by a trapper in the 1800s, describing a creature remarkably similar to what they had seen. The journal spoke of a legend, a creature of the snow, known to the indigenous people as Talawaz, the Guardian. It was said to protect the mountains and its wildlife, rarely seen but always present. This revelation reignited their curiosity and a shared, unspoken desire to return to the mountains. With the first snowfall of the next winter, they found themselves back in the Cascade Mountains, their gear better prepared this time. The air was thick with anticipation as they set up camp near the same spot as before. The first few nights were uneventful, but on the fourth night, the same deep growl echoed through the trees. This time they were not afraid. They followed the sound, moving carefully through the thick snow. As they approached a clearing, they saw it again, the snowman, standing tall against the moonlit sky. It seemed aware of their presence, but unthreatened. Emily stepped forward, her hand extended, a gesture of peace. The creature studied her. Then, in a move that shocked them all, it reached out. its large, snow-covered hand gently touching hers. In that moment, a rush of images flooded Emily's mind. Visions of the mountains through the ages, the wildlife, the changing seasons, and the slow encroachment of humans. The connection was brief but intense. When the creature withdrew its hand, Emily was left breathless, tears in her eyes. She had seen its memories, its purpose, and its loneliness. Over the next few days, they found themselves in a strange routine. Each night, the snowman would appear, and each night, they would learn more about it. Kevin took notes, Sarah took measurements, David took photographs, and Emily sketched and painted. They learned that the snowman was not just a creature, but an embodiment of the mountain spirit. It had watched over the land for centuries, a silent guardian, witnessing the ebb and flow of time. As the end of their trip neared, they knew they had a decision to make. They could reveal their discovery to the world, but at what cost? Would the snowman become a target, a spectacle for the curious and the greedy? On their last night, as they sat around the campfire, the snowman appeared once more. This time, it brought with it a sense of finality. Emily, who had formed a unique bond with the creature, understood what it wanted. With heavy hearts, they agreed to keep its existence a secret, to protect it and the sanctity of the mountains. They left the next day, each carrying with them the weight of their decision. Years passed, and their encounter with the snowman became a private legend, shared only among themselves. Emily's paintings of the creature hung in a local gallery, labeled as imaginative works of fantasy. Kevin's notes were tucked away, never published. Sarah and David, too, kept their experiences to themselves. But in their hearts, they knew the truth. The snowman, the guardian of the Cascade Mountains, was real. A reminder of the mysteries that still linger in the untouched corners of the world. As they grew older, they often looked back on that winter with a sense of wonder and respect. They had touched the unknown, and it had changed them forever. The snowman remained in the mountains, a silent sentinel watching over a world that was blissfully unaware of its existence. And perhaps that was how it should be. Their lives moved on, but the mountains called to them in their dreams. The world outside seemed increasingly chaotic, a stark contrast to the serene mystery of the snow-covered peaks where they had encountered the snowman. As the years passed, Eldridge Falls, a town close to the Cascade Mountains, started reporting strange occurrences. Livestock vanished, odd tracks appeared in the snow, and an eerie feeling settled over the town. The group, now in their late 30s, felt a sense of responsibility, a connection to these events. They decided to return to the mountains, this time to investigate and ensure the safety of both the town and the snowman. Upon their return, the mountains greeted them like an old friend. The air was crisp, the snow untouched, and the sense of mystery as palpable as ever. They set up camp, this time equipped with more sophisticated equipment, including motion sensors and night vision cameras. The first few nights were quiet. They revisited the old spots, reminiscing about their first encounter. But on the third night, the sensors triggered an alarm. Rushing to the location, they found a group of poachers, armed and searching for something. Kevin, thinking quickly, alerted the park rangers while the rest of the group tried to stall the poachers. The confrontation was tense, but the rangers arrived in time, apprehending the poachers. It was clear now that the secret of the snowman was at risk. The group realized they needed to do more to protect it. Over the next few days, they worked with the rangers, setting up a protected area and spreading false rumors to deter curiosity seekers and poachers. One night, as they sat by the campfire, the snowman appeared. It seemed to understand their efforts, and for the first time, it communicated directly, not through words, but through a shared vision, a powerful experience that left each of them with a deep sense of purpose. The vision showed them the history of the mountains, the arrival of humans, and the impact they had on the environment. It also showed them a future, one where nature and humanity coexisted in harmony. The message was clear. They were to be guardians, not just of the snowman, but of the mountains themselves. Their mission became more than a personal quest. It became a lifelong commitment. They worked with local conservation groups, advocating for the protection of the wilderness areas. Emily's art became a tool for raising awareness, her paintings capturing the beauty and fragility of the natural world. Years turned into decades. The group, now in their 60s, had become well-respected environmentalists, their work inspired by that fateful encounter in their youth. The mountains remained a place of wonder, its secrets protected. The snowman, a legend in its own right, became a symbol of the untamed wilderness, a reminder that some mysteries should remain unsolved, respected from a distance. As they grew old, they often returned to the mountains, each visit a pilgrimage to the place that had changed their lives. The snowman appeared less frequently, but they felt its presence, a comforting reminder of the enduring magic of nature. In their final years, they passed on their responsibilities to a new generation, young environmentalists who shared their passion and respect for the natural world. The story of the snowman became a legend, a tale of mystery and conservation, inspiring others to protect the wild places of the world. And so, the legacy of that winter's night, of the encounter with the snowman, lived on. It was a story of wonder, of respect, and of coexistence, a testament to the enduring power of nature and the responsibility of humanity to protect it. In the heart of the Cascade Mountains, the snowman watched over the land, a guardian of a world that was always changing, yet forever wild. And for those who had known its secret, their lives were forever intertwined with the mystery and majesty of the winter's breath. Thanks for listening to this story. Put a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new stories.